Ladies and gents and the rest, today I'm going to show you 6 mechanics. Well, some of them are mechanics, some of them are just scumbag tricks that the beginners don't know. If you're not a beginner, you probably know, you 100% know all those. But if you're a beginner, it will be interesting for you. Let's take a look. Alright, so if something like Drakisat like that is coming at your core and you have no gold and you only have 1 Cobold, here's what you can do. Pyong, you can re-aggro. You can aggro Drakisat and escort him away and make him attack your tower. Now, it's not possible on every single map. So as you can see, Arathi Basin, it works on Arathi Basin because the tower is close enough to the core. So same thing on hills, red foothills. The key, by the way, the key to that is that your Cobold has to be closer to your Drakisat than the core. This is how Drakisat keeps following your Cobold. Okay, see, boom, worked again. However, on Alterac Valley, we don't have any towers. So yeah, eventually Cobold will just run away because Cobold has a higher movement speed. Cobold is medium, Drakisat is slow. Drakisat comes back to your core. But again, even in this case, you can still win some gold. If you can't kill Drakisat, you can at least win some gold, right? Same problem with Timbermoor Hold. The tower is too far, so by the time that when Cobold is too far and Drakisat, you see, okay, there you go. So I didn't record Gadget Zan. On Gadget Zan, it's not possible either. It's the tower is too far, but you can still, like I said, if you escort them away from the core, you still win 3 or 4 seconds, which means 3 or 4 gold, right? Okay, so the credit goes to Pieta. This is where I saw it in his video, and I'm gonna add something more to that. So you drop whelps like that, yoink, and you need polymorph. So you wait until Rend. Okay, you see, Rend attacks whelps, attacks eggs. Sorry, he kills eggs, but he doesn't have enough time to kill your whelps. You polymorph him, and the whelps kill Rend. You have to time polymorph correctly, and you're gonna be golden. But for super pooper alpha males, this is how to do it with execute. You have to put whelps very close to Rend, and when Rend is being crowd controlled, when you're using execute knockback, during that knockback, whelps will manage to kill the Drake and finish the Rend, the ground Rend. So yeah, obviously it's doable with elemental and armored Rend talent. When your structure is being attacked like that by a ranged unit, you can just drop something on this unit and it will move him away from the structure, and he will have to find a new target to focus, which will be the thing that you drop it on the unit, right? So this is the mechanic. You can move units away from things. All right, let's abuse the map mechanic a little bit. So what you're looking at is keeping the units on the same spot. What do we need it for? To stack units together. Here's an example of when you might need that. Back in the day when Malfurion first came out, it was pre-nerfed Malfurion, his healing was insane. And if you stack Malfurion and 2 Shamans, and then drop Ancient of War somewhere, the combo would be unkillable. Like, nothing in the game would be able to out-damage the healing from 2 Shamans and the Malfurion. This is actually when I saw this trick. So, yeah, you can just keep things close to each other's, like, by doing that. And then you stack them together and you get a OP combo. This is a piece of shit thing to do. Like, don't do that. But I mean, if everybody starts doing that, I'm showing you how to do it. Same thing is really good. Works really well with Ancients of War because the longer Ancient of War stays on your half of the map, the longer it lives. And sometimes it's very important, especially with siege towers. Okay, Polymorph. What does it do? Well, the official description says that it turns enemy's unit into a ship, and the unit starts getting 200% extra damage from all the elemental attacks, which is spells, not counting execute, the other spells, and elemental attacks from units, right? However, Polymorph also disables all the abilities on units, but it works differently on different units. So let's take a look. If we polymorph, let's say Anubarak, boom, Anubarak doesn't spawn bugs. Watch. I'm dropping skeletons, bam, no bugs. Okay? So that's what polymorph does. Let's keep going. Thalnos, we are dropping eggs on Thalnos. Eggs with the explosion talent. Watch. Bam! You know what happened? I'll explain you what happened. So, eggs, when you polymorph them, they lose the ability to blow up, to explode, and they lose the ability to spawn whelps. Yeah, so polymorph completely disables everything. Let's keep going. It's important to understand how fucked up polymorph is. Okay, Sylvanas, watch. Polymorph, bam, Banshee comes out. So, what happened was, initially, Sylvanas would be killed the same way if you polymorph her like two bandits for 1 gold. Sylvanas dies, there's no Banshee. But people started complaining, like, what the hell? It's a 6 gold unit, and it can be killed by 2 bandits. Like, it's unacceptable. So Blizzard made an exception, made Sylvanas an exception, and now Sylvanas does spawn Banshee. So it's not logical, it's not right, but this is how it works, okay? So let's keep going. Thalnos, you polymorph Thalnos. Boom. He doesn't generate levels when you cast spells. Again, disables the abilities. Ancient of War, you polymorph Ancient of War, and nothing changes. Ancient of War keeps its abilities. There is no logic. Blizzard doesn't say anything. So the conclusion here is that polymorph works differently on different units, because people ask this question very often: why does polymorph not work here but works here? I don't know. It's completely fucked up spell. Blizzard refuses to explain anything. There's no logic. It works whichever way it wants to work. And there are some exceptions, as you can see, like Sylvanas. That's all I can tell you about polymorph. Okay, so I'm going to drop the Witch Doctor here, and we'll take a look at some... Okay, so here's a Witch Doctor by the core. The closest unit to the Witch Doctor is Molten Giant. And then the Priestess and the Miner are... Miner is covered by the HP bar, but the Priestess and the Miner are far from Witch Doctor. Who is he going to attack first? Let's take a look. See? Priestess first, then Miner, and only then he will start attacking Molten Giant when everything else is dead. So what the hell is happening here? The hidden built-in mechanic in the Witch Doctor is that he always attacks the lowest amount of HP first. Not the percentage, but the amount, the lowest number. What is that for? Well, we all think that since the Witch Doctor has explosion talent, when he kills the target explodes, I guess he prioritizes the lowest HP targets because of that, so he could keep exploding things. So that's the idea. But at least now, if you drop Witch Doctor, don't expect him to attack the closest units, okay? Because the closest unit here is Molten Giant. That's pretty much all for this video. If I think of something else, I'll probably put it in a different video, because, yeah, there's only 6 mechanics here, not 10. Usually it's like 10, right? I just can't think of 10 right now, but I know millions of other tricks. That's all.